So, hi everyone. First, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you are safe and still have the motivation to draw and work during this quarantine. This is the first video where I will talk and I will talk about how I was able to do this piece and especially how I was able to pass through a downside, losing my motivation and trying to do something that I was pleased with. And I'm not considering myself as a good artist. There are tons of much more advanced artists than me, but I found the story that I went through could be interesting for some of us, and I wanted to share it. So before starting, I want to say a few words to my friends and friends. So salut, comme je pense qu'il y a plus de Français qui parlent également anglais, ne m'en voulez pas s'il vous plaît si je la fais en anglais. Et sorry also, my English is not that great, but I'm sure that you will be able to follow. So to start, for a few months, I did a lot of portrait studies, doing exercise from paintable.cc, and a one week portrait challenges. I was really happy with the progress and with my progress, and I know that I still I can improve, but I'm sure a few months later I will see them again. I will probably say to myself, oh, no way, I can't believe I show them on YouTube. But for now, I'm kind of happy with them. Anyway, I was still amazed by a lot of artists who do awesome portraits on the group and sharing stuff. I was really amazed by them. And but for me, I was getting bored by doing photo studies, and that's creating something by myself. I know I reach a decent level to reproduce photo or using references, but I wanted and still want more for myself. And obviously, I tried doing and exploring new styles. I started doing my own illustrations. I was kind of happy, but not fully happy. I continued working on exploring and trying different styles, and sometimes it pays and you don't know why or how you achieve a nice piece that you consider a nice piece for you. Like if the grace touch you for this particular moment and particular piece, and then left. So after a few drawings later, I wanted to pursue and push myself towards illustrations, and it was again a disaster. It was terrible. The proportions were off, the composition sucked, everything was a full garbage. I was so disappointing about what I was doing that I was almost crying. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure that it's something at any time, lifetime for an artist, you went through a couple times. I'm sure it might come back, and the goal is for this video is more, okay, how you can get through that. So I said to myself, man, you are bad, you sucked, it's terrible, you will never achieve to draw something good by yourself, and you will always need references. And yep, I can do something decent and reproduce a photo, but it's great for studying, but not developing your own style and what I wanted to do actually. So after I said to myself, well, I have to study more, but not from photo references. I went back to my digital lessons from Paintable Digital Painting, created by David Bilibo, a great course that I recommend. Seriously, take a look, it's great. And I was watching other artists like Shalibu Water, who presented a great illustration and her process during this course. And I learned a lot. I wanted to experiment what she was presenting. I also watched Saukate Pace. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. But we said something that really punched me. If you want to find your style, use inspiration from photo or anything, but look at it and try not to reproduce it. Get the vibes and experiment. Try to get what you liked in this picture and try to look at less the picture and try to develop your style. That being said, I was still doing exercise, but still I was fighting with myself and especially with the pen. I took a break and I said, man, I want to get loose. I'm not struggling. I don't want to struggle with the pen anymore. I want to let the pen talk and let it flow. So I started again drawing shapes, but I did not have any idea in mind. I wanted to let the pen dictate what I wanted to do. I know for sure that I wanted to do a female character, female portrait. That's it. But I didn't know what she will look like or the pose, anything. I just wanted to let the pen do it by itself, actually. So I was giving lines, as you can see, and first and then adding details, still really quickly and looking for something. During erasing process, but I wanted to do quick lines. I didn't want to fight against the pen at this stage. I ended up with something that I found interesting. I was looking for a pose and nothing pleased me. I did tons of pose, different pose. I was struggling, didn't know what I can do with a body or arms or anything. But once I found that something interesting, okay, I can probably pursue. So I also corrected the head by scaling it down a bit vertically because I thought that it was too oval, if you see what I mean. So long time, and especially after being depressed by my previous drawings, I was happy with what I ended. The sketch was good for me, but I wanted to add something. I thought that some stuff were missing and I was not feeling confident with my painting skills at this moment. So I decided to start going on internet and trying to find some references, actually, because you still need references both ways. Actually, it's good knowledge, things that I learned, that even if you want to do something from your imaginations, you still need some good references. And I'm always amazed by the great artists and who are doing illustrations for League of Legends. And by browsing and collecting a few references or containing them, I found a great tutorial of Dave Greco, who mentions the Draw This Your Style challenge while doing a cute demon hunter, and say, "Oh my God, this is great, and this is exactly what I wanted to do with my portrait." So I found my food for this piece and started building it on top and added the features like the mask, the arms, and the ears, of course. So I felt okay with it and ready to start painting. I started with the base color. So you can see on the left side, I also added the code for the colors on the left side. I think it could be useful because sometimes we struggle by finding the correct tones that you want to do with the piece for the skin. So I say, after watching a few videos on YouTube, I was always, what kind of color it is? It could be really nice if you can see the code. So I share what I've done. Once I've done the base skin color, I took a pink for the hair, then after some color for the horns and the mask. I knew I wanted something bright this time, and because I was doing a lot of dark tones previously. So over the lines, I put a reddish lightened layer as suggested by one of the tutorials of Dave Greco, and then I applied some tones. I also refined the shape of her nose just to make her more pleasant to my eyes because it was not really defined, as you could have seen. So because I wanted something bright, I went with a blue light and quickly added some shadows and light on her. The next feature I tackled was her lips. I didn't know if I wanted darker shadows below her lower lips, but I saw it was too predominant. I lowered the intensity of the shadow, but I gave them more volume. It was too strong for now, but it's something that you can correct after during your process. I made all the layers with my sketch included, and what a terrible choice actually, because after you have to clean up all the black lines, and it could take a while and created weird artifacts while doing that. I could have lowered the opacity before. It's something that I generally do with my studies, but on this one I didn't. So on my illustrations, it was really difficult actually to clean up all those lines. Then after, because the end was one of the most important features in the illustration, I spent a good time refining it, finger per finger. I noticed that we were not able to distinguish it well with her bright hair, so I decided to add some shadows on her hair and a curve that I will refine later. It was just to make the hand pop better during the coloring. Then I continue cleaning the arm and chest with some normal and overlay layers that I merged after. So merging actually the layers really help to do some after some tweaks, or if you need to move something or scale something. I struggled a lot with the clavicle. I didn't know how to place it, and I'm still not sure of it. But at the end, she is not too disturbing. So I continue cleaning the black lines, and I did a few pink, yellow and blue tones, and working on her right hair. As the background is white, she needed a backlit on her hair, and I added some orange overlay layer to give this orange effect that you can see. I noticed also that the hair was too small and the rotations was not good. So copy paste it, doing some scaling effect to position it much better. Then I refine her front hair, and while doing it I saw that the horn was not well placed too, so I did the same technique than the hair, and was able to put the horn behind the character, so I was able to place it correctly. It was time to render the next hair now, but the lock of hair was preventing me to do it. So I painted it over. I painted over with the same technique that the first one. Then with a soft brush, I painted in white to give this glow effect. I did back the lock of hair, but with a more dynamic curve. Then I gave more volume to the hair. As she is a demon, I wanted to give her a lock of hair with a design of snake tongue, and adding a few more details. Really slightly, so like that it's not too predominant, but you can feel it. I discovered a new tool thanks to Charlie Bowater, the color lookup adjustment. It has a filter over your image that could be really interesting. You can find it in image adjustment in Photoshop. It gives you a different choice that you can apply, and for that I recommend to duplicate your layer, so after you can control the intensity of the filter by using the opacity or the layer mode. So at this stage I was happy so far, and my motivation went back pretty high. I got this excitation that you have when you paint, and I was not able to stop. So I was really happy to pass through and push this wall that I was struggling with. Back to the image, I noticed that the sheen was not well implemented with the hand. I did a few tries, having the sheen in front of the hand or behind, and behind was the one that worked better. While working closely on the sheen, I noticed that I forgot the tip of one of her fingers, then back on her chest and her next arm I was doing some adjustments. Cleaning the lines again and refining her top with a blue dark, almost black color, adding some highlights, and then the famous glowing effect with smooth soft airbrush. Refining the chest again to accentuate the light and the pose. It was time to tackle the eyes now. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to keep them or not. So the first iteration was to cover them, and finally I did the highlights on the nose and lips that I kept until the end. Again, the glow effect, I was happy with it. Now I wanted to see how she looks like with the eyes. I like how I did the eyes this time. They are not traditional, these are realistic. The pupil is different, and I like this strange feeling that they gave. So it's probably that's something that I will explore more for next illustrations. Yeah, it's something that I liked. But so after doing this test, I really like them both. So I seek for feedbacks from the awesome community group on Facebook of digital painting. Thank you everyone, you are awesome and always providing great feedback with positive attitude. Thank you so much, you are part of my motivation. And it really helps actually. I receive a ton of support and feedback. So for the one with the eyes, I did the corrections too. I did the hole because the bandage was too close from her eyes, and adding a few details. For the one without the eyes, I did a few details as well. And one of the members also mentioned why not doing both and having a transparent bandage. I thought it was a great suggestion too, so I tried it as well. Thank you very much for suggesting. So finally, we have a winner, and obviously, I agree with the majority of the community who gave me great feedback, and thank you very much. So with the no eyes actually won the community choice, I would say. I'm not yet at the level I want to reach, and for sure there are plenty better artists than me. I wanted just to share with you this story that I hope can motivate you, and how I was able to pass through this unmotivation or demotivation stage that I was passing through. So I hope it was useful for you. I still have a lot to learn, but one thing is sure: being unmotivated and disappointing about what you are correctly doing happens and will happen. So don't give up. Practice, study, seek for feedbacks, tutorials, and you will pass over this damn fucking wall. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the quality of the video. It's probably too long, but it's more concerning about the story than the process. So I hope you liked it. Please share, subscribe. If you want to see more of this kind of video, just let me know. Just a thumb up will make me happy, and take care. Cheers and stay safe. Thank you.